It may be grey and misty, but there is still so much to do and so much beauty in our growing spaces. Let's get to work. Now, this time of year, it's no surprise that things are starting to die back because we are between our autumn and our winter, and a lot of the plants around us are losing that chlorophyll or those green colours as they start to die back, and we're getting those really rich oranges and browns which we associate with autumn. Now, the same actually applies to our herbaceous perennials, which can be our edibles, it can be our ornamentals, or it can be our edimentals, such as our artichokes here, which are absolutely stunning. Now, the way that we know that they are perennials is they come back each year for at least 2 years or more. And then our herbaceous is the fact that they will completely die back, but they will come back the following year. So we might suddenly panic and think that we have completely lost them, but we haven't. Now, at the moment, my asparagus is still green, so I'm not going to cut those back just yet because they are still getting that photosynthesis and the energy going into those roots and those crowns. So I'm going to wait a little bit more before I actually cut those down. What I do have is a frame just to hold those ferns up so that they're not going to be rocking around should we get any high winds. And as soon as they're all sort of yellow and brown, they're going to be cut down to the ground. Now, with our artichokes, it is slightly different because we have lots of, if you're like me, let them go to flower for our pollinators. They are looking stunning, but these need to come down. They're not going to do anything now. Now, what's really fascinating about these flower heads, and that's essentially what they are, is if you just open it up, what we have inside is an awful lot of fluff. But right down at the bottom, if you get past all the little insects, we also have some really fascinating seeds. So if you are into your seed saving, underneath all this fluff, you have some amazing looking seeds. However, what I'm going to do, other than maybe save those, is I'm going to cut these down. Now, these stalks are really quite thick, so I'm going to need some loppers to actually cut these back. So very simply, all I'm going to do is go right down to the bottom of these stalks, and with my loppers, I'm going to cut them off and try not to hit myself on the head. Now, once they're cut off, there's a few things you can do. Obviously, you can do the seed saving, or you can actually cut off maybe some of this dead foliage, and they are really decorative. So maybe hanging them upside down somewhere, just so that if there is any little bugs in there, you're going to sort of shake them out. And then, absolutely amazing as things like Christmas decorations, you can of course spray them golds and silvers if you really want to. Personally, I just love the rich brown colour that we have in these. Now, once I've actually cut those back, and I've got quite a few here to do, I'm then just going to actually leave the leaves of these plants as they are. Again, these are still really green, so they're still going to be getting some energy. However, some of them are dying off. And what will happen quite naturally without me needing to do anything with them is these leaves will just die right the way back down to the ground, very similar to what the rhubarb has done. Again, another herbaceous perennial. It's almost as if the whole lot's died down, but they will come back next year. So what we need to be doing is looking after our spaces, looking after our herbaceous perennials. Look at the colour. Look at what the plants are actually telling you as to whether or not you need to be cutting them right the way down or actually leaving them. You could cut these down to about 1 metre, but as I say, the leaves themselves will die back quite naturally. Once you've got that, any of your areas with your herbaceous perennials, give them a good mulch over so that they are protected. They're getting some more nutrients so that next year they're going to come back even better.